You let them see you mention deviated path on the
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So.
Hello, everyone. We're getting started. They want to just come in all crazy, but we're just getting started. I'm actually getting a little more comfortable now.
I guess preparation does really work. I mean, not does, but it works.
Yeah.
Here we go, guys. 5, 4, 2.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to So the Days of Noah. Thank you for tuning in and joining us again for another Sunday. And today made our 1 month anniversary.
Yeah.
Hey!
It's a celebration.
It's Sunday.
And so I want to say thank you, everybody, for sticking in with us and tuning in every week with Support District Radio Network, with My Radio Chicago, with myself, Vessel Ayah, my co-host, Sister Soldier for Yah, my brother Blizz, and my mother in the background.
Hey, everybody.
Yes. Hallelujah.
So how's everyone today?
I'm feeling awesome.
I'm wonderful.
Blessed to be alive.
Yes.
I know it's cliche, but I am. Really, I am.
Right. At peace. I tell you what, I had a very, very rough week this week. And even though committed to the radio and knowing our topic for today and having my wonderful family here on the radio, Sister Vessel Foya, Mom, and my brother, thank y'all so much for being here with me because, we're spiritual family. And
Yes.
Vessel for y'all had to get on me and let me know, look at here, just because you going through don't mean that you X out everybody, because we supposed to be here encouraging one another, strengthening one another, so that we can make it through. And because of that love, I feel so good. I feel so good. She gave me a remedy and it worked. And I am back to, I got pep in my step. So
I like that.
Hallelujah.
I'm feeling really good. Like you said, bro. It's a cliche, but for real, feeling good. Feeling
real.
wonderful. So it's so good to be here with our audience, our listening audience. We're gonna have a good show for y'all. It's kind of bittersweet. It's a kind of bittersweet show.
Hey, I want to say this, like you say, we are a spiritual family. We are family, period, but we are a spiritual family, and we have to be there for each other in those times when we getting attacked, when we not feeling so strong. Hey, 3 of us may wake up feeling great, and the 4th person may just be getting super attacked and just taken out of their element. And we have to be able to say something encouraging and be there for each other and say, hey, we gonna get past this together. You get what I'm saying? So that's why he aligned us as a team, and we have to continue to pull it for each other, because we gonna get attacked from every angle. He gonna feel like, well, if I can't get Vessel, then I'm gonna get Blizz, and if I can't get Blizz, I'm gonna get Soldier, and if I can't get them 3, I'm gonna go after Mama, and if I can't get one of them 4, then I'm gonna get somebody around them. So we have to constantly pray for each other and just be there for each other. You feel me?
Amen.
Hey. And on a lighter note, we got to show some love to our sponsors out there. First off, SKSF LLC, a company that conducts research with a smile. That's right. So big ups to them, and thank y'all for holding us down. And of course, deviatedpath.com. Thank you guys for helping spread the word of Yeshua, and getting behind my sister as she walks this walk. And I just love you guys for that. Deviatedpath.com all day long.
Thank you.
All day long.
And also, I have some good news to share as well before we get into today's topic. I have a great surprise that's coming up with somebody I look up to, and it's like a spiritual mentor, and it has helped me along my journey and in my studies. I have to let everybody know he's gonna be on the show for next Sunday. Y'all willing. His name is Jero24, known as JT on YouTube. So check out his page. I'll make sure on the YouTube that I'm recording that I put his information at the bottom and the link as well. But I'm really excited because he is really filled with that Ruach HaKodesh and such humble and meekness, and just his love for the Father is just amazing. So I'm excited to share that.
Nice.
Awesome. I can't wait. I know it's going to be a very inspirational and powerful show. And it just excites me, the connections and the networks and the people that's reaching for you and the people that you reaching for. This is just an awesome journey, man.
Yes.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Y'all knew. All right. Yeah. Up under.
Okay.
Yeah. That's me. I added a little spice to it.
I
You know what I'm
like it.
talking about?
I ain't mad at you.
But you know what? Just sitting here, I was just thinking something you just said, Soldier, about family. And even, brother, when you just talk about family. But even what we're talking about actually starts the beginning of family. Genealogy of Adam and all the things that happened prior to lead us to now. Started as a family.
Yeah,
True. That's true.
So-
that's it.
Because we are a family. We a spiritual family. Me and you and Mom, real
Yes,
family.
yes.
Soldier's real family too. Even though she out of town, she real family too. We just all tied into each other, you know. And we're going to take this journey together. Like I say, we're going to continue to pour into each other and build each other up. And, you know, even in our weaker moments, you know,
Yes.
while we running this race, we're going to stop. And I'm going to grab Soldier arm on one side. You're going to grab the other arm.
it.
And we're going to pull on through the race with him. We ain't leaving nobody behind.
Absolutely.
Amen. You know, I just want to add to that because, you know, what we have learned in this world, and I'm saying this for Israel, what we've learned in this world is to be against one another.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for us to, I'm going to say it, trust our own people.
Okay.
Because
Hallelujah.
we done been through so much, we don't know who to trust. But I'm going to tell you, when you on one accord and you studying the word together and you seeing it, and you can have dialogue, it ain't just like this, you know, one person giving you this message and everything, and you ain't doing no research and you ain't doing no studying where you can't have no dialogue. It's a whole different ball game. You can't help but to respect what the Most High had intended for Israel
Yes.
in the first place.
And you know
Hey.
what? That goes right into the scripture.
Well, let's talk about it then.
Yeah.
It goes into 2 Peter. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, Yah's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light.
Don't it feel great to be a special possession?
Yes.
Don't it feel great to be
Chosen.
special,
Chosen.
period?
Yes.
Yes.
Like I tell people all the time, like you know, whether it's women, whether you know some of my homies, if it's open to everybody, you get what I'm saying? Or if I'm not treated different in a situation, what makes me special in a situation? You get what I'm saying? Like we all want to feel special at the end of the day. We all want to feel like we are chosen. You know, in our workplaces, in our relationships, in our walk with God, we want to feel special. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So it feels great to feel special
Yes, it
and
does.
blessed and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And I don't want to step on nobody's toes, but let's be clear here. Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, are a special chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
We've said it before. Have you noticed why the darker skinned people are always attacked by every other nation? It's because the Most High chose Israel. Out of all the nations on the earth, the Most High chose Israel. He says that we are the ones he loved. We're the only family he knew. And that is Amos 3:2. We're the only family. Let me say it. Let me read it. It says at Amos 3:2, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity. All right? So if you're wondering why Israel, black folks, Negroes, whatever you want to call us, but us are going through, it's because the other nation knows the word better than we do.
Wow.
They know our book better than we do.
Yes, they do.
They
Right.
teaching you our book, and that's why they making us hate one another. So that's why I wanted to clarify why it feels so good to understand why they have pinned black folks against each other. But because they want us to destroy the race that the Most High only love out of all the families on the earth. I'm gonna let that marinate.
Sister.
Come on,
Sister
with it.
Soldier, real quick. and my sister, Vessel, and if we know, they always say that, and I'm glad you mentioned that. They always say you want to hide something from a black person, put in the book.
Yeah.
If we know that's the problem, why are we so hesitant to fix it?
Because we're lazy. And we
Ooh.
content. We lazy and we content. And the reason it's funny, we just had this conversation.
That's how come we did what we did when he brought us out of Egypt. We were hard-headed. That's how come we on punishment now. Because he said we're stiff-necked people. We're hard-headed people. Black folks is hard-headed.
Yep. It's just like I was telling my mom yesterday. Actually, we was out and we were talking, and I was telling her, even if you look at just the generations, even when I said let's start even with her generation, and maybe like her parents, it was already beat in their head that you obey what master say and do what master do. Wow. So then when it came into them, to her generation, they didn't question nothing because it was already put in their minds from their parents. So then when it came to them having kids, which is my generation or like your generation, then it's like, wait, we're not going to do that. Put that structure in there because it's already set. And they already know not to question. They know to do what you're told to do. And then they still want to live their lives and they want to do whatever they wanted to do. So they did. So then we get to our generation and then now we start having kids and we shouldn't be young and that's why we have all these grandmothers that's 30-something years old, but that's another topic.
Right.
When you start looking, behavior is taught. And then now you go all the way down to now, and there's no structure, there's no order, there's no nothing. And you have no desire. When you had TV raise you, when you had the internet raise you, video games raise you, it's just like, it's right there.
But you made a great point. Master taught us, don't question me, just do what I tell you.
Yep.
And then we were taught when it came to God, don't question God. Just read it and do what you told. Follow the commandments, do what you told. And even our parents, they adopted that same way of thinking. Don't question me. Just do what I tell you to do. So the whole time, and within reason, you're not supposed to question your parents. You do what you're told. You know what I'm talking about? But
if it's right.
A lot of times, if we never get an understanding, we just doing what we told.
Yeah.
It was by design. We have to understand because that's what the topic is going to be about. Because Satan, he knew. So it was by design. We have to understand that he's very crafty in his manipulation. He knew how much time he had to work on the children of Israel. So, and we gonna understand who Master belonged to, who they daddy is, and who loved them, and why they have been over us. And I think the reason why we can't get it is because we got so many truths mixed with lies. We got so many lies out here that, you can't win for losing.
True.
Because by design, they are really, really trying to destroy this race. Psalms 83, 4-6 talk about they are confederate against us. So when I say confederate against us, I mean everybody at the United Nations. when they go to the United Nations and the government, they talking about us. Because ain't no Israelite sitting at that table. There's an empty chair where the Israelites supposed to be sitting there.
Wow. Y'all preaching today.
It's by design that they doing this to us, but we got to have the heart. We got to have the heart to love our people. And that's where it's going to come from, and that's what we have here.
But have you... I'm sorry, you go.
You got it, Vessel.
I was just going to say, have we ever even thought about, even when it goes back to Adam and Eve, even Adam and Eve, they had everything. Right. And they wasn't even in the flesh. They were still in the spiritual realm. They were still in their spiritual bodies. And they had everything, but they still desired what Satan was offering. Just like now, we still desire what the heathens are offering. It's never good enough.
Man. Y'all going there.
And even with, like that about what you said, Soldier, when you said about even about us not trusting, it's funny that it has embedded in our heads to not trust one another, but we're easy to trust other nations. Even with the Bible, I always say it's funny. I was just having this conversation with my cousin yesterday about the whole Bible issue and what we're going to keep going into. But they told us that we didn't need to read, that they were going to read the Bible for us. Even in the slave days, they told us that they read because we wasn't good enough to read because we wasn't humans. And we took that because we in captivity and we're listening to them. But then when they deemed it was okay for us to read, it was after they added and took out things that they wanted us to read and things they wanted us to know. So then now they letting us read. And we should look at that. Why is it that at first it wasn't okay for us to read? We was too dumb to read. But then now all of a sudden it's okay. And I always remember when my grandma used to tell you how crazy it is and how deep-rooted this sickness that they put in our people. I never forget my grandma used to say she used to get whooped because she liked to read.
Wow.
She would get beat because she liked to read.
Because she simply wanted to fill herself with knowledge.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And but we have that opportunity now. We not under that no more. We gonna understand why we've been under this oppression, and we are at liberty now. We are at freedom now. We are at freedom to read. But we still got to read, because that, look, I always say, you know how they do that? Well, let me say, I got 2 points. One movie that we ought to watch that'll really, really piggyback off of what you said, Vessel, Birth of a Nation. When that little boy went in there, they seen he was clever, very smart. But when they took him into that library, he said, "Oh, all these books," and he started wanting to pick out one. They put that Bible in and said, "No, this is the only one you gonna read, and you gonna teach it the way we want you to teach it."
Wow.
You gotta watch The Birth of a Nation. When you start waking up, watch that movie, Birth of a Nation. And then that 11 Years a Slave, those 2 movies you gotta watch. And it'll tie you into the Confederacy that they had against us. You will see it so clearly. So clearly. And I forgot the second thing, but...
But to actually go into Proverbs 12, because Proverbs 12 says, "Who loveth instruction, loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish." So it just shows right there that we have to get back into loving the knowledge of the Most High Yah, not our own. And I want to clarify that, because so many people deem themselves as pastors, teachers, and evangelists and all this stuff, but you don't have the Ruach in you. Because if you had the Ruach in you, it's not your understanding, it's the Most High Yah's understanding. Mm-hmm. And you will operate through him, not on your own self and your own understanding. And that's the problem where a lot of people are doing. They're teaching what they want to teach and what makes their flesh feels good. And that's you're supposed to be uncomfortable, because the word, if you're uncomfortable, that means correction is happening. But people don't even want to go there. And I always say, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 is my favorite scripture. People probably tell me saying this, but I care less. But it would say, "Trust in Yahuwah with all your heart, and lean not into thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths."
Amen.
True.
Amen.
You would think with all the struggle and everything we've been through, from them wanting to keep, knowledge from us, to, going through so much oppression, our families being torn apart, them teaching us what they want us to know, them teaching us to hate each other. You
Light
would
skin,
think
dark skin.
at light skin, even racism in our own race. It's a lot of racism within our own race.
So-called good hair versus nappy hair. That's so dumb.
You would think through all this, at this point, we would just naturally have it to like, hey guys, wake up, let's stick together, let's educate ourselves, let's develop our own, economy amongst us, our own, just everything amongst us,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of us still don't get it.
One reason we can't even take correction from each other. When
Yes.
one is telling the other ones that something is wrong, we automatically get an attitude, we get mad, we take it personal, we ready to fight, angry, everything. But let somebody from another
but if
nation,
somebody else say it,
it's fine. It's okay. They love you. They're this and they're that. We make excuses for that. So that just shows you that we can't worry about nobody else until we get self together.
yeah.
And that's the biggest problem.
When we read our book, when you really, and my emphasis today is get into the book, and this book is for us, by us. Moses was an Israelite. He wrote the book by the Father that loved us the most. So this book was for us, by us. For us, by us. It wasn't for nobody else. Can't nobody teach us the scripture but Israel, y'all. Ain't nobody supposed to be teaching us the scripture but Israel. And I'm going to tell you this, I got to throw that in there. And if they taking a dime, it's filthy lucre. It's that they in it for their own selves. So you don't listen to that. You got to get in your book and it will answer every question that you want answer about us. And then if we could just start with that one love. If Vessel or y'all did not call me and get in my case and told me that I was not right about the way I handled my situation this week, guess what? If I didn't have that love, I wouldn't have been able to hear her. I would have been said, I would, and it took the Bible, it took the book, because now I know that we are committing a sin when we're going against one another. And the people that are against us know that we are causing our own injustice when we don't listen to one another and when we don't show love to one another. Because he said, Yahushua always talked about our brothers. He wasn't talking about no other nation. He was talking about Israel to Israel. That's our brothers. Israel to Israel. Black folks to black folks. Negroes to Negroes. African Americans to African Americans. That's our brother. We are doing ourselves our own injustice. The Most High is upset with us because we're hurting our own race. The only ones that he loved.
Wow.
And not only just hurting our own race, we're hurting the Most High. Because we can't even be obedient to our Father who created us. So if we can't be obedient and love him accordingly, how can we love one another?
You just said it. And on that note, let's take a break right quick. One more time. Big ups to deviatedpath.com. Make sure y'all get in tune with them.
Please support them because they're black owned and it's good to support. We can support Facebook and Twitter and stuff, but this is our own. Mm-hmm. And they have a really good foundation to set up, and they just started out too. And I want to make sure that people go and support them and set up your profile and talk to like-minded people. And it's just all about learning about the Father and connections and coming together.
And it's so key to be around like-minded people, as we know.
Yes.
And the other sponsor, SKSF LLC, a company that conducts research with a smile. Let's get into this Jerusalem, and we be right back. Days of Noah, right here.
Prayer. Hallelujah.
Fire.
Yes. But now this is the thing I was going to talk about too. It's just like, because the Most High brought this to my attention yesterday when I was on the phone with Key. When we look at it, when he said, if my people, at 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name should humble themselves. So when you look at that scripture, if you look at it physical, you're looking like he's saying, if my people called by his name. And we think about that, but if you look at the spiritual aspect of it, if you come to a land of captivity and it's broken out of you to stop calling him by his name, and they introduce Jesus Christ to you, and they embedded that in you, and then you teach your kids and your kids' kids because you want them to survive, and you want them to live, and you don't want them to get beaten, then how can you call out the Most High to save you, to ask him to heal you, to ask him to save your land and save from captivity when you don't even know his name no more because you know him as Jesus, and we wonder why our lands weren't being healed. We wonder why we wasn't saved. And this is not our land to be healed.
Yeah.
This is captivity. So when we look at that scripture and actually break it down, thank you, Real Hakadash, because literally it's like been resonated since yesterday that's why when people say we was in slavery and we would count on Jesus, he couldn't save us, because that wasn't his name. That's why he said my people will humble themselves. We wasn't humble because, again, we want to be like other nations.
We do what we're repetitively taught. It's the same way with people.
Yep.
If I'm born into the projects and my grandma has an apartment, and then when grandma passes away, she passes it down to my mama. And then when mama gets old and passes away, she passes it down to me. And then I get old and I pass it. If neither one of us breaks that curse and says, hey, you just only supposed to use this for a couple years until you get enough money up to get you a house. But most people don't think like that. They just talk like, we going to hold on to this $80 lick.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? And we going to pay the $80 for the rest of our life, and we just going to pass it down instead of using it to get on our feet and then blessing it to somebody else or another family that needs it.
Yep.
We taught certain behavior, and
Not
that's
to
why
share.
we keep certain behavior. And we taught not to share.
Absolutely.
That's it.
It's a revolving cycle.
Revolving
we not
cycle.
on there, we're not just-
No, I know. I'm listening.
Yeah,
I
we're
know
on
that.
revolving cycle, and
But what was said needs to be on here.
yeah. That
Go.
was
That was it.
Go.
I like how you said, because it's true, because I hear so
That's-
many
they
people
definitely
say
do
that.
Yeah.
So many of my friends.
30
I got
seconds.
Section 8 because of my family, and my family is and they
It's-
pass,
it's
and then they
tough.
get mad. They get in fights about who gonna get the Section 8.
Yeah.
We fight about everything, and we still
Everything.
love each other.
Fight
Yeah.
with that
Here we go.
leg.
We going up, guys.
Y'all know we supposed to have all these babies because, you know, we get this
Stand
income
by,
tax.
stand by. My Radio Chicago. Download the Support District Radio app. Oh, days and no. That's that Jerusalem right there. I don't know how to say his name. Ibar. I'm just gonna say Ibar. Nabaya Ibar. I hope I'm saying that right. You know what I'm talking about? But we love your music, and if you're an artist out there and you have music dedicated toward the message of Yeshua, feel free to send that in. MyRadioChicago@gmail.com, and we will definitely support that and put that out there, man. And I love the behind the scenes talk we have. And we always find a way to tie into each other. I like how my sis Vessel Yah was talking about how we're taught behavior, you know, and that's the reason why we do certain things. And then, you know, it even made me think about how, you know, even in real life, if you're born into a situation to where
Section 8.
you live in Section 8 or you live in the projects, and you have this apartment where you pay $80 a month, and grandma has that apartment, and then when grandma passes on, she passes it down to her daughter, and then when when mama passes on, she passes it on down to you. If nobody during that cycle says, hey, let's just stack our money and get into a better situation, a bigger house, then guess what? You're going to hold on to that little $80 apartment for generations and generations and generations and generations when that was never what it was put there for. It was put there for you to be able to use that to stack your money, get on your feet, and then guess what? Move out and then give that situation to somebody else. But we become, like you said, we become so comfortable, so complacent, and just like, this is what we taught. Hey, I'm going to hold on to this little $80 apartment. I'm going to hold on till I can't hold on no more. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not taught in a lot of cases to want to venture out and to want to think bigger and to want to do better and to want to dream big. They call you a fool because you want to go get a mortgage for $1,000. But guess what? I want a bigger house. I want a yard for my kids to run around in. I don't want to have to, and I'm not knocking anybody that lives in a situation that lives in a Section 8 situation or a project situation where it's by choice. But what I'm saying is, it's okay to grow. It's okay to want more. It's okay to want to expose your family to more. And the same thing in the spirit realm. It's okay to want more. It's okay to question and say, why are things like this? And if you don't understand it, it's okay to want a better understanding. You know, you don't have to just settle, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. And that's where I always say it goes back to, like you said, spiritual, about even settling. I was just gonna say, we have been content even with the parts of the Bible that we didn't understand, of not seeking the knowledge and asking the Most High to fill us with, as some people call Holy Spirit, to give you an understanding of what the word actually means. Because it's so many times that we don't know, we don't understand. I just told my mom yesterday, I said, you know, growing up, I always heard people say, you judge a tree by the fruit that is bare. I said, but I see people, I don't see a tree on you. I don't see fruit growing out of you. So how is it that I can take that literal,
right? But
you can't, you have to take that spiritual rather, not literal. They tell you take that spiritual. It's not about a physical tree. But you can't take Genesis spiritually. Mm-hmm. I.e. with the whole Adam and the eating the apple or the fruit or the tree. It's spiritual. And even understanding that. Why is it that has to be literal and not spiritual?
Because people actually think that they're talking about an apple the whole time. Even me, I was guilty of it until Soldier last week and how she said it. Mm-hmm. It clicked in like, hold on, wait a minute. He said, don't partake of that tree, meaning don't partake of Satan.
And
you get what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that. And see, that's what I say, when we're on one accord and we are filled with the Ruach and we have the Most High leading and driving, where they say drive the boat,
right?
Everything comes together. Because crazy about me and you didn't even have that conversation, and Soldier either, and it's all
how we came together.
That's the Most High.
And but guess what? It's kind of like listening to a song your whole life. You could be 30 years old and you done heard this song a million times, but it may be a key moment, situation where you sitting in the car and that song plays and those words mean more than anything you've ever heard. And it's like, I got it. It hit me. And that's how I felt last week when she was talking about Adam and Eve and Eve partaking of the apple, and how the apple was simply Satan himself.
And I'm glad you said that, because people, again, they limit themselves, because when you read in the Bible, you have to have the Ruach HaKodesh in you, or Holy Spirit. You have to have the Most High Yah's understanding. And you have to have the meekness and the humbleness of Yahusha to actually understand the word. And that's what people miss. They miss the message all the time. So even with that, you know that you just can't read it in the physical. You gotta read it spiritual, and you also have to know how to understand words, because in modern English, what we speak is actually a new language. Modern English is not even the same as Old English, and you start realizing words like fruit or seed, or even things like Brother JT was talking about his live yesterday, cloud. If you look at cloud in the English versions versus the Greek, it has totally different meanings. Right. So understanding that, you have to step out the box, stop being lazy, and research. Not just the Bible. You have to research the concordance. You have to use more than just one book. And see, the Most High, He's so great, and like He said, He hid His word in us. Right. So when you even understand that, I hate when people limit the Most High to their understanding. His understanding is greater than ours. Right. So to limit to Him to 66 books only, I'm sorry, I don't care who I make mad. You just limit Him and you capped Him. And you capped Him even at the number that people say is the mark of the beast, is Satan, is 666. So you're limiting the Most High to something of your understanding, because you can't grasp it. Maybe you would grasp it if you would lean on His understanding and if you trust in Him.
And a lot of times it's just simple ignorance. And I'm not calling anybody ignorant. It's just, again, when you've been taught, this is the only book you need. This is your go-to book. This is your book through life. People fail to realize that, guess what? It's other books that complement that. Yeah. It's other literature to complement that. Mm-hmm. And that ties into that. And like you say, you have to look into those as well to be able to get the full understanding of everything.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now let's break this down, this language thing. Yes. This language barrier that we have. Let's understand that when the Most High, when the Holy Spirit, when the Ruach is imparted unto you, you're going to see celestial. This book speaks celestial and terrestrial. Okay. But the book of Genesis is celestial. Let's understand that first. It's the first book. So we gotta understand how we're supposed to read the book. We understand we have our enemies and what they have done. But Isaiah 28:10 tells us precept for it must be precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. The most Yahweh spoke in parable, Psalms 78:2. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old. This book is a parabolic language. The Bible is a parabolic language. Don't let them get away with making us look at it as English, because that's when you're looking at the Bible like a novel.
True.
This book to us is parabolic, celestial, and terrestrial. Now we got to understand something, because we talking about these trees. When the Most High created the heavens and the earth, see, we looking at trees, and we literally, we saying trees literally. But when you do your research and understand the Hebraic language that Israelites spoke, that the Greeks took from us, we'll understand that the Most High called us trees. But you can see it when you go to Matthew and you call the wheat and wheat. Wheats are good people and tares are bad people. It's the same. Wow. This is the celestial speaking. This is the parabolic speaking. That when Yahweh was speaking to us, he was speaking in parables, but he was speaking a language that only Israel gonna be able to break down to Israel anyway.
That's why the word was in our heart. It's hidden in us. Yep.
That's why you getting this breakdown, because first of all, you gotta understand that our language is Hebrew. It's not English. English belongs to the Greeks and the Romans, all our allies. That's who it belonged to. So they took us away from our language. And I like something that you said, he broke it down. I love the back conversation that we have. The reason why we still suffering, because they gave us the name of their God.
Oh, yeah. The conversation we just had.
Because we don't know we don't understand our language, and that's how come your prayers are not getting answered. That's how come our lands are not being healed.
Yeah, Second Chronicles 7:14, when he said, "If my people will humble themselves and call me by their name." We were talking about it because they don't know, the people who wasn't on behind the scenes. We was talking about that scripture about how you can't look at it just physical, you gotta look at it spiritual, and how our people, our ancestors brought over here as slaves, and how it was beaten out of them from using the Most High's name, and was embedded in them to use Jesus. And because they were fearful now of their masters or the slave owners, whatever, they start converting and start saying Jesus Christ, their God, and they taught their children and taught their children. So how can we call our Father by his name, who said he will answer us, if we don't know his name?
But guess what? Now it makes even more sense that how you say it was beaten out of us to not call God by his name. It was beaten out of us not to even use our real names from our homeland. So in a lot of ways,
we had his name in our names.
A lot of ways they killed our identity. We don't know who we were, who we are. So
look at what they did to Kunta Kinte.
and that's what I'm thinking about.
He knew his name was Kunta Kinte. They beat him until he called his name Toby.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at ultimately. So just like they made us so uncomfortable to the point, it's kind of like if I pick up the Bible and I don't understand it. When you don't understand something, what you do? You deviate away from it. You put it down.
Because you've been taught that you don't fool with that. You don't fool. You don't question. Like they always say, the old people say, you don't question God.
So the moment I pick it up and I start reading and I don't get it, I'm gonna put it down and I'm never gonna revisit it because it's like I don't understand it. I'm uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? And that's how they made us uncomfortable the whole ride.
And that's why them false preachers can preach the way that they preach, because
Hallelujah.
they think you don't understand. And so guess what they do? They help you to understand for their own selfish, for their own vain, for their own vanity.
Wow.
Yep. That's the crazy thing about it. And I know we still got a little time to talk about even with the Adam and how we even got to this part about the fruit.
Yeah.
And just something most people don't realize. Even with the beginning, after the Most High created the heaven and the earth, we were still spiritual. Flesh was a part of us as the sin, because we committed a sin and took apart. Even like I said, look up the word seed, look up the word fruit. I gave y'all some go to the concordance and use the Hebrew interlinear and actually start studying other languages so you can understand more. Again, I always say, just don't take what I say. Study to show thyself approved, like 2 Timothy 2:15, because it's not my job to give you everything. This is about you seeking the Most High and building that relationship with Him for yourself. But even with that, it was spiritual. And why would I always say about when you do a sin, you cover it, you try to hide it. So if you look at it from the spiritual aspect with Adam and Eve, and people always say it's because of fruit, haven't people ever thought about maybe the sin was that she slept with Satan? And think about it, if you look at even Adam's genealogy and you think about what fruit and you think about seed, see, Satan is known as a transfer of light. See, that's the part people always don't understand. Satan likes to imitate everything that the Most High does. Hence, even the world. Everything is an imitation, trying to get back to... That's why he wants to get back to heaven so much. And he thinks he's going to reign because he wants to imitate the Most High so much. So if you know that the Most High created Adam and Eve, you're going to get mad. You're going to feel some type of way because you like all the attention. You like everything to be on you. And people always forget that Satan was the first fallen angel. So we know about the fallen angels. We know that they messed around with the daughters of Zion and created giants and Nephilims and stuff. But why people can't understand the concept that Satan is a fallen angel that could have slept with Eve, which is a daughter of Zion, and created a seed. And as we know, seed, when you plant a seed in something, it grows. Hence a baby. Just leave that.
Exactly. So let's back that up right there, because I love that. I love that because when I start really researching and studying, I'm still emphasizing how important it is for Israel to read the book, because the Most High wants us to read the book, and He's ready to say, look at that. There go Israel opening up their book. Let's be there. So when they ask for discernment and understanding, we can give it to them. Because He sure gave it to me when I began to really let the rock impart in me. Fruit is children. Progeny. It's you sowing, you receive, you getting seeds, you getting something back. That's what the children, offsprings, produce of the grounds. Those are the fruits. And remember, we already explained that the book of Genesis is a celestial book.
Right.
Now, when I'm gonna show you how even Yahushua, because we like to use the whole book. We don't like to just use the New Testament, but we gonna use the whole book. And
Hallelujah.
Luke 6:43 and 45, Yahushua said, "For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither does a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit." And you know how you always with your friends, and she a bad friend or a good friend, you say, well, I can tell you by the fruit that you bear. See, you understand that celestial talk then, because a good person can't bear a bad, anything. A good tree is going to put forth good fruits, and a bad tree is going to put forth good fruits. So this tree that they talked about when, we spoke about it last week, but we continue in this lesson, when the Most High said to Adam and Eve not to eat of that tree, He was talking about Satan, and He said, and don't touch it. or you would surely die. Okay? So now when you go back to our Hebraic language, do your research, and when you go back to your Hebraic language and look and see what these words really mean, you will begin to understand the sin that they committed. It didn't have nothing to do with no apple. They touched that tree. That tree, when you do your research, you're going to find out that tree was the most beautiful tree in the Garden of Eden.
Sure was. There you
that
go.
Was Satan, y'all.
So that was Satan right there. So I got.
Now when they committed that sin and they ate an apple, how come they didn't cover their mouth? They didn't put a fig on their mouth. They put a fig on their private parts.
Hallelujah.
And guess what? The crazy part is the result of them partaking or coming in contact with Satan. What was one of the consequences? You would feel pain during birth. Now.
Yep.
Come on.
You get now.
Cause look what you gave birth to. Look what she gave.
And think about how Satan tried to do it now. He tried to take away the pain of birth, even though the Most High said your punishment would be pain. Think about it. That's what I love about Brother JT. He just covered this. He said he gives you medicines. You got the epidural, and you got all these medicines supposed to stop the pain. Trying to stop what the Most High already said was our punishment.
But he said it was going to be pain. Now I have a question.
Imitation.
Amen.
And you know what I'm saying, I'm still getting an understanding on some things, so I'm learning on the fly thing too, and I'm not afraid to tell y'all, you know, and I know you gave the analogy, well, maybe Eve becomes pregnant when she interacts with Satan. How does that involve Adam at that point? Why is he cursed, and why is he affected by this when Eve partakes and comes in contact with Satan?
Because Adam also engaged in within them. Adam also engaged. The commandment was given to both of them.
And when he said not partake of the apple, in his sight was mean don't even come in contact with Satan. Don't even, have conversation with him. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a husband. It's like a husband saying, if you go over there and talk to that man, me and you getting a divorce, because I know y'all ain't up to no good.
Okay.
And and then also, just to support that, which scripture is this? Genesis, you could say it. Genesis 2. Where is it at? Genesis 2, 16. It's 16. And he said, and the Most High said, I'm sorry, let me stop. I'm trying to slow down. Yahuwah commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. He gave the commandment to man.
Okay.
So man, think about it, when you married, you're one. You're one together.
Right.
So if he's supposed to be still the head over Eve, he still she should have had respect.
Right.
But you see it now. And he was supposed to be her covering. But like she said, he partake. It goes so. But
when you're married, we think about it in the real life. When you're married, your bills are my bills, your problems are my problems, your good is my good. We are one. So guess what? I get it. When she took that hit, we took that hit. Because we are together in this walk.
And I just want to take a break real quick so we can play Cole Burnett Legacy, because that actually fits in with what we're talking about. And he's a great artist as well, so go check him out. He has a lot of music on YouTube, and we'll be back.
That's right. My Radio Chicago.
You tell me I gotta go. Okay, wait.
Awesome.
So on that,
where did our pair just go?
Right here.
Oh no! I was looking at it before I looked.
So on that same topic of submission, when you guys were talking, it came to me that man was to submit to the Most High.
Okay.
And then the woman was to submit to man.
To man. So he was to submit to Yeshua.
Right.
And she was to submit to Adam.
Exactly.
And when it fell through, like he said, you can contact and in the spiritual realm. Now it makes sense. I can talk to all these people around me, I can network with all these people around me, these good people, but just stay away from that one bad person right there. Don't talk to them.
Right.
So that's what he was saying.
Right.
I got it.
But from my understanding, also, y'all, Adam did commit in a sexual act. It ended up being like an orgy.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Because Yahweh did ask Adam, "Why did you do it?" And he said, "That woman made me do it."
And see that, and see that ties into again that idea and that submission, because even when people get married, the man is basically the head and the woman is to submit, but that man still has to submit to the Most High.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the chronology and the lineage where it's supposed to go, the Most High always is first.
Yeah.
And you think about it, and
they say man is the head of the household.
Exactly, and
sister, now that I even think about it, because in the Christian realm, they always say Eve took partake of the fruit, and then she brought it to Adam, and he also partake of the fruit as well.
Yeah, because remember, to them it was innocence.
Right.
To them at first, until
they
the Most High let them know y'all done broke the first commandment ever given.
Well, and you think about it, they knew that they had done something wrong, because after the act, when the Most High came looking for him, he's like, where are you? And then they realized they was what? Naked.
Yeah.
That's the
eyes
word.
were open.
Now that's the word.
When a married couple's together, and I don't know why you got to go to court and have somebody give a lie detector test. Doggone well your intuition tell you don't slept with somebody else.
That's
30 seconds
that
left.
spirit.
30 seconds.
That's that spirit.
30 seconds.
I'm gonna go into the I'm gonna read this.
Yeah, we got about 8 minutes left, guys. So yeah, you gonna go into the poem?
We're going to poem, yeah.
Okay. Give me 1 second. 15 seconds. I like that. Cole Burnett Legacy. He's such a dope artist, man. My Radio Chicago. Download the Support District Radio app. It's for the free. And you can check out Days of Noah every Sunday, 12 p.m. You know what I'm saying? Just putting on for the message.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And before we get started, I wanted to go into the poem, because every week my brother writes a poem and I want to read it. Today's poem that he wrote is called War. We are at a spiritual war, calling all soldiers. For now is the time for repentance and encourage to the unholy, seeking for better days, living in Yahweh's, so the soul won't perish away. But when it's time to be in a better place, all pain will be erased. I'm explaining what it takes to change and take a place, because tomorrow could be the day where the sun is gone away. Then it's too late to pray and self the one to hate, because we chose the other way.
Wow.
Wow.
He always has some nice poems, man. Big ups, and we just want to send you a whole lot of energy and tell you to keep your head up, stay steadfast, stay prayed up, and everything is gonna work out in your favor, brother.
Because the Most High show using them.
Yeah.
Yes.
He puts us in situations even when we don't understand. Sometimes you wake up, you be like, why I'm at this job? Or why am I entertaining this person? Or why am I over here? And you got to realize it may only be a season, because God may have you there working. He may have you just there for a purpose to say, hey, I need you to plant this seed. I need you to do this little work. And then guess what? I'm going to move you around. But right now, this is where I need you.
Yeah.
And I believe that's where he's needed right now.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. And he said
I just want to give it up to Vessel, y'all. Vessel, when we talked about going back to the beginning, let's take the people to the beginning so that they can understand what's really, really going on. Today, I can really appreciate that, because I was like, darn, going back to the beginning seemed like that's a long road to travel.
But remember, you said it last week, though, Soldier, and we said it last week. Sometimes you have to go back to the beginning
Yeah.
And it's a part of that destroying and rebuilding process to say, let's go back to the beginning, and this way everybody can get an understanding. And let's take that walk together.
Yeah, because as I was doing the study, I was listening and I was reading and somebody said, you know, this knowledge that is that this the way that they have taught us the Bible, these little fables, these little stories like seven doors, the one, you know, the one with the apple and all that stuff. This was a disservice to us because we're supposed to know how our enemy work, and our greatest enemy is Satan. You know, we said that last week. The war is truly between Satan and the Most High over his chosen race. All right, Satan has all those other nations because they his children, and had we known, we need to really understand the mechanism of our enemy. And I believe that had we been taught who Satan really is and not this snake and all this stuff, we would be in a better, we would have a better understanding of really what's happening in our lives. But I wanted to say, I said that to say this. Today, we really need to know how our enemy works. Because they finna throw this love thing on us. They finna throw this brotherhood thing on us to make us get ourselves together and bring them back into the fold. See, Satan is clever. All right? And we got to know how Satan works. And we know how Satan works when we study the beginning. When we study the beginning. Because we're going to continue this because we're going to understand who Cain is. Yeah. We're going to understand that sexual act, without an apple, it wasn't no apple. It was a sexual act that they did, and they gave birth to a child named Cain. And you're going to start learning you're going to start learning the genealogy of these people. Then you're going to see your enemies working against you. Then once we know that, I believe the love for Israel, the love for each other will come together, because we know right now today without the Bible, we know that some of us are starting to say, we ain't got nobody but each other.
Yep. And also to reach the lost sheep, because that's the thing. Israel, we have so many issues, but we're not focusing on the importance. We're not going back to get our other brothers and sisters who still don't know anything, who are still not woken up, who actually really need the foundation. They need us to lean on. So instead of fighting and having chaos, which is not of the Most High, we need to start coming into order. Take self out of there and be filled with the Most High. And I just again want to thank everyone for tuning in with us with So the Days of Noah every week. And again, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for going along this journey with me and seeing the vision that the Most High gave me, because you guys don't have to waste your Sundays to do this with me. So I really appreciate it, and I'm grateful, and I look forward to many more and everything else to come. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank for everybody tuning in. You got any shouts out, Soldier, before we get up out of here?
All praises to the Most High. The name of our Father is Yahuwah, and the name of the Jesus that you need to be calling on is Yahweh Shai. Amen.
Okay.
And also, I want to say, I want to end the show too. I want to send a shout out to my family, because we just got news that my great aunt, my mom's aunt, passed away.
Condolences.
And she was a wonderful woman, very caring, and I mean, she loved her family. Yeah. And the crazy part about it, this is the side of the family that Ben knew we was the Israelites a long time ago. They were seeing this stuff back in the 60s. So I just want to say a shout out to my Kendricks family, and we love you. And
we love you.
Keep us in your prayer.
Keep us in. Well, I want to say keep us in prayer, but everybody praying good. So on that note, have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week. Hopefully you're armored up and you're feeling great. And join us next Sunday.
Absolutely.
Where we'll have a special guest, Jerome24, a.k.a. JT.
And also check out his YouTube page. His YouTube page is amazing. He has literally a lesson for everything, from prison to everything. Everything you can think of, he has done, and he's again humble. And also go to my YouTube page at the Vessel of Yah to check out today's show in case you missed it. And thank you, everyone.
That's what's up. And remember, if you don't do nothing else, stay in His Word. We'll see you next week.
Amen.
That was great.
That was good.